Hey guys, welcome back here to another video, to another project. This is going to be project number 3 of the series that we've been working on for building a CI/CD pipeline. Okay, in this specific project, we're gonna focus on dependencies and CodeArtifact. Now, before I start, I wanna highly recommend you guys to go back to those videos where I've worked on the first two projects, just so that you are up to date, because again it's a continuation of where we left off, and so it's gonna help you definitely understand what's happening up to this point. Okay, now with that being said, let me just go ahead and start with the project, guys. I don't know how this is going to how long this is going to last, but we'll go with the flow. All right, again, the main idea here of these projects that I'm sharing with you guys, is that not only do you learn from the topics or the material that it's already listed here in the website, but I also try to add my own knowledge so that we can understand things better. As a matter of fact, I just started studying for an AWS certification, and so I'll be able to I understand things a little bit better, so I'll do my best to add more knowledge here when we're touching on these concepts. All right, okay, so where are we with the project at the moment? Right, so we have built our web application, and now it's being hosted on the EC2 instance, right? So far what we have is the application, um, and then we also have the EC2 instance where we're hosting it, and we have connected it to GitHub, and that's what we have right now. Okay, um, so I'm just gonna go ahead and start reading here through the material. You are now onto project 3 of this series, where you learn how to use AWS CodeArtifact. I have no idea what it is, but let's see. So think of AWS CodeArtifact like a secure closet where you keep all the building blocks. We call these packages for your web application. Just like you might store extra batteries or light bulbs at home so you're ready if something goes out, CodeArtifact helps you keep copies of these packages safe. This way, even if something goes wrong with the public repositories on the internet where these packages usually come from, you still have everything you need to keep building your application. Okay, so this is great because we don't really have to rely on these public repositories where we've been storing or getting our information um, to run our application, but now we can copy those resources that are on this public repository that you never know what could happen to it because we don't own it, and we can put it here in CodeArtifact to store that for us. All right, so it seems like at some point during the project we're gonna be able to connect our web application and its resources here in CodeArtifact. Okay, I hope that makes sense now. I know that this project is outdated. However, I noticed that they're going to update this specific project. I mean, up to, so like the first two projects, they were fine. I think they work fine, but it's just this specific project that it's a little bit outdated now. I don't know if the other, you know, 4 projects need to be updated as well. We'll find out, but they're gonna do that, I believe, next week. So hopefully by the time I record the next project, everything is updated. Okay. So, um, the reason why I asked you guys to go over projects 1 and 2 first is for this specific reason, right? We have to create a I am admin user, and then we have to create a repository. Yeah, our repository with GitHub. We have to create our EC2 instance. So you're gonna go through all these steps, okay? So again, feel free to go ahead and go through those 2 projects that I've recorded just so that you're up to date. Now, here is what I'm talking about when I said that the project is outdated. Okay, it says here, heads up, please set up this project with GitHub instead of code commit. I know that code commit is outdated. It will say it right here. AWS recently deprecated AWS code commit to new users, so we're in the DevOps series to use GitHub instead. This project has not been updated yet, so it refers to code commit. We're working on it. In the meantime, you absolutely can complete this project on your own if you follow our updated setup steps using GitHub. I believe so this is part 2. So we have already done this. That's part 2. All right, so you'll go ahead and connect your project here with code commit. So set up git identity. Okay, I believe, have we done this? Yes, we have. So right now, let me pull up here our Visual Studio Code, which is right here, and as you can see, I'm already connected to the EC2 instance. All right, so we're gonna keep going, right? So we are going to go ahead and create a local repository running this command. I'm already in this environment. Actually, you know what, guys, we might need to go here to GitHub because I just recreated the EC2 instance, so I'm just going to go ahead and quickly create or connect this to GitHub. So bear with me for just a few moments, shouldn't take too long. Again, you have to go through this either way, just to make sure that you're up to date. We have already created the application. We have connected it to the EC2 instance via SSH. So let's keep going here. We have already gotten to this point, and I would like to go ahead and install Git here. I did not this beforehand, so I just copied that command and pasted it on here. We have just installed Git on our EC2 instance, and we can verify by checking the version, as you guys can see. So we have successfully installed Git. If you don't know what Git is, go ahead and watch my other project, but just to briefly describe it, Git is basically our local repository where we're going to be storing all the web app resources that we need for it to run, just successfully. Okay, then we are going to set up our GitHub, which I already have an account for. You might need to just go ahead and create a new account. So I'm just going to go here to my repositories. So here I have the repository, but we're just going to do this part again. So here you're gonna follow up these steps to create your repository. So we have already done that, and just want to go ahead and do this part. Okay, I want to commit and push your change and push the changes. Well, there's not really changes, but we're going to do this. Git init and okay, and then we are going to do, actually, since it's already there, we've already pushed everything, so we should be good. We should be good. We already have the token. Okay, so at this point we should be ready to continue with project number 3. All right, and we have already done our commit, right? Yes. Okay, so let me run this command right here. So let me share this with you guys. Okay, so I just run this git init vdomain, and it says warn it, re-init, ignore initial branch main, reinitialize existing git repository. Okay, so it looks like it has run, and copy your code commit repository URL to, which should follow this format. Okay. Set the remote origin to the code commit URL you copied earlier, replace HTTPS. Okay. I don't think we need to do this because we have, and I will explain why. Okay, because if you go back to project number 2, we have already done this, and this right here is this initial commit updated in, it's what says here, right? So if we go to branches, we go back here. No, it looks like we haven't pushed anything. Otherwise I would see my files here. So let's see if we can do that together now. Okay, I might have had some issues, I can't remember, but let's do this first, guys, and pull it up right here, and just change your name here to, I don't believe you need the quotes, or you might, okay, you don't. So we got our username, and now we're gonna do our email. And we'll do okay, and then let's see what happens if I copy and paste this. Yeah, so this is, I mean, we are already at this specific directory, but there's no environment. I don't know why it says environment. So right now we're in home EC2 users, next work web app project. That's what we are. Okay, so then it says initiated. Okay, so it looks like it has created that local repo here. Alright, so we should be good so far. Now this part, it's a little bit tricky. Let's see, it says copy your code commit repository URL to your clipboard, which should follow this format. Code commit. Set the remote origin to the code commit URL you copied earlier. Okay. So this is the part that, this is what I'm talking about, guys. So this is not updated, right? So this is referring to code commit, which has been replicated, But what we have done on project 2 is we have already pushed our changes or commit our changes as well to our GitHub account, right? So that's why it shows that it's here. Now I just want to push, and let me copy and paste this, guys. Let me do this. So, and let me actually go by parts. So I'm gonna start deleting this. If you don't know what git add means, it's just basically we are staging our, our, not our code, but what we have done so far. So it's like a place, like a stage area, right, before we commit the code. So right now we're gathering everything that we've done so far. We haven't really done anything, but we do have the application here running, right? So as you guys can see, it says hello world. All right, so then the next step is to commit that code. So okay, so we have committed. Now we just gotta push it. Now with this command, we're gonna push those changes to our GitHub repository. So it says source ref spec main does not match any. So okay, so we're running into our first issue here. So at this point, right, how we haven't pushed anything. It's not pushing. It's not pushing. So there is an issue. Main master branch main. So let's see what we can do here, guys. Let's see. So what I'd like to do is just start checking here what could be happening. Indicates that Git cannot find a branch named push. Here's how to fix it. Okay. Run the following command to check your current branch name. Okay, so let's see on which branch are we right now. We are on master. Okay, that's right. It's so what we can do is just push here to master instead of main, and it says origin does not appear to be a Git repository. Cannot read from remote repository. Please make sure you have the correct access rights and the repository exists. Okay. So what happens right now, it seems like our EC2 instance is not able to recognize that we are connected to our repository. So I just want to figure out how we're gonna make this connection. Okay. So let's see. Let's see what happens if we do this. I'm just copying here the error that I got when I, select when I enter this command. All right, so it says it means that Git does not recognize origin as the remote. Here's how to fix it. Okay, so you see no remote repositories link, so we're missing that link, right? So if I run this command right now, let's see what it says. It's not giving us anything. If you see it wrong, you need to correct it. So let me do this right here, guys, but we're going to let's go ahead and delete up to this part and we're going to go to, we're gonna go here, and we are going to go here, and I am looking for that URL. Mm, 2 months ago. We could use this, but go back here. My question is, how do I find that URL code? Okay, here we go. So let's copy this and we're gonna paste it right here. And let's press enter. Okay. So if we're doing everything right, we have just linked, right, our EC2 instance with the repository that I had created from the previous project. Okay. So let's verify if it was added. And it looks like we have successfully connected. Now there is two. One says fetch and the other one says push. I don't know what that means. Okay. Okay, and I could probably just try to push it right now, but before we do that, I want to know what this means. And push me. Okay. Fetch and push are commands used to synchronize your local repository with a remote repository. Git fetch downloads changes from the remote repo but does not merge them into your local branch. Uploads your local commits to remote. Okay. So let's go ahead and push those changes, guys. So let's go back up here and we're going to push here to master. Okay. So it's asking me for a username. Okay. So what's our username, guys? Our username is Bruno ASB. So let's go ahead and do Bruno ASV. And for the password, guys, is we're going to use this token, because if you go back to project number 2, it says that passwords are deprecated, or they're not using passwords for authentication longer just because it's not secure. So I believe, so what we did is we created a token. Okay, so if we go to developer settings and we go to personal tokens and then go to classic, let's see if it's expired. So it's not. And I think okay, so the token must be somewhere. That's the thing, guys, like so when you create the token, it gives you the so if you hit create token, it'll give you the code, but I don't know where I saved it. I can't remember, so I'm just going to just generate a new token. Okay, So this is what I'm talking about. So we're gonna use this and we're gonna enter that for password, okay? And it's not gonna show something like as if you're typing something. It's just protected, so you're not gonna see it. I just typed Control V to paste it, so we're gonna hit enter. And it says updates were rejected because the remote contains work that you do not have locally. This is usually caused by another repository pushing to the same reference. If you want to integrate the remote changes, use git pull before pushing again. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Okay, we're gonna push, we're gonna pull. So basically what it's saying, right, is that if I go back here to my repo, and let me just make sure I have saved this. We're gonna need that. So let me go back to my repos. My journey. Is it this? Yes. So, but there is nothing here. So if I go to this one instead, no. Okay, so you see how here I have just hello world. Well, in one I believe it must have been the last project number 2, what we did is we updated it, right? We added these 2 lines of code, and that's what it's saying. The error, that's what the error is referring to, right? It says that it's not matching what we have here and what we have on our repository. But this is referring to DevOps project. So let me go back to DevOps project. So DevOps project, which we don't really have anything, but we do have this. Let's see how we're just going to pull whatever it's here. So let's do that. Let's pull that, and we're gonna do a git pull. And it looks like we're missing a command. Let's find out. Excuse me, so let me just copy and paste this, and we're going to use our friend here, ChatGTP, to give us more information. I don't know what's that specific command to push. So indicates that the remote repository has new commits that your local branch doesn't have. Git prevents you from pushing to avoid overwriting remote changes. That makes sense. Okay, so let's do this command right here. And okay, you see how it just added this? That's really cool. Okay, so it looks like it's adding the code here. So we just fetched, right, our remote changes, and it's going to reapply it to our local commit on top of them. Okay, perfect. This is good. This is really interesting. Okay, so if there are merge conflicts, Git will ask you to resolve them. Use git status. So interactive rebase in progress. No commands remain. You are currently rebasing branch master on. Okay, so if we go back here, we refresh, I don't know if it's done anything, but let's do that here. Okay, so actually we can just probably just get and push this. Oh, I'm sorry, I'll do this. Okay, Bruno ASV, and then let's grab our token. Updates were rejected because a pushed branch tip is behind its remote counterpart. Okay, so let's find out what all of these means, because there might be an error here that we're just missing. Alright, so if we do that, you're in the middle of an interactive rebase and there is a conflicts in index.jsp. You need to resolve the conflict. Okay, see, we are missing an issue here. So okay, so this is going to open another web app. Identify the conflict markers, top section head. Okay, so it says to remove. What does it say here? Remove the conflict markers. For example, after fixing my look like. Okay, so current change. Yes. Okay. Okay, so we've accepted it. Now can we push ASP and let's copy this. Updates were rejected because a pushed branch tip is behind. Let's find out what this is. It says you're seeing a non-fast forward error because the remote branch master on GitHub has new commits that your local branch master doesn't have. Git prevents you from pushing to avoid overwriting someone else's work. But that's what we did, guys. We accepted the changes that were. Pulling is not possible because you have unmerged files. Fix them up in the work tree and then use git add remove file as appropriate for my resolution. Make a commit. So we do git add and then we do a Okay. I'm just wondering why I don't see here my instances. If you're unsure you want to override the remote branch, you can force push. Okay. Okay. We might honestly get the same error. Okay, it works. It works, guys. It's one of those things. Okay, so what I believe is that, I mean, everything is just, everything is good, should be good, because we have here the updated version. So let's see what happens later. Okay. Okay, so it says now we have a working code commit repository to store and version control our code. Okay, so now we can focus on the part that we came here for, right? AWS CodeArtifact. So it's been over 30 minutes here. I'm gonna take a little break and I'll get back to it. I'm gonna take some time here to review it before I start part number 2. But we should be good to go from now on. All right, I'll see you guys in a little bit.